The 2020 CAA Hercules Tire CAA Men's Basketball Championship has come to a close. I'm Bobby Broyles, joined by our CAA Men's Basketball Insider, Eamon Brennan. The Hofstra Pride have done it. They are the 2020 CAA champions. Let's take a look back at this game versus Northeastern. Eamon, the first half, it was kind of played at the Huskies' pace, and they go to the locker room with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, it was an interesting first half. Some nerves early on. It felt like a few missed shots that you weren't used to seeing. In fact, I thought Hofstra's offense especially was a little bit off in the first half. They were 4 of 14 from three, under a point per possession on the half, ended with 28 points. I think something like 10 of 34 from the field. So it was not a vintage Hofstra offensive first half when you consider what they've done on a per possession basis, overall basis throughout the conference season. It's easily the best offensive team in the league, in a league full of good offensive teams.
Yes.
So not their best first half, but on the other hand, you thought only down 2 points at the half. Few more of those shots start going down in the second.
Yep.
The Hofstra's got a really good chance to pull away here, and eventually they did.
And they did. As we take a look at the second half now, it became kind of the Jalen Ray and then DeJour Bowie kind of cleaning it up at the end as Hofstra was able to pull away, like you said.
Yeah, more made shots, really, more threes. Ray got going, DeJour Bowie got going, although he had a good first half as well. But there was a period early in the second half where the game kind of stagnated, where it got into the 40s and both teams struggled to score. And for a little bit there, you thought, okay, it's whoever goes on a run now in the next 5-6 minutes and sort of these 4-minute blocks that you get between TV timeouts, whoever gets a couple of stops in a row, 2 or 3 stops in a row, and makes a couple buckets is going to win the game because it was so hard fought. Well defended on both ends, I thought. Both teams know exactly what each other's going to run, so everything is really hard to find and come by. And I thought on the defensive end, Hofstra did an excellent job on Jordan Rowland. He had a good game on Monday night, but not his vintage self. Maybe the best, certainly one of the best guards offensively in the league. A hyper-efficient guy who averaged around 23 points per game all season. Hofstra guarded him really well and made him work for everything, and he was never able to get into a rhythm. And Northeastern was able to keep up with some balanced scoring, but against a team like Hofstra, when Bowie's got it going, when Pemberton's got it going, Jalen Ray's got it going, not having Jordan Rowland at his best, I think, really cost the Huskies in the end.
And also, I feel Isaac Conte played a big role in the paint for Hofstra today, the Georgia transfer. He was very big, especially in the first half, close to 10 rebounds there in the first half.
Yeah, and 15 total, right? 9 points, 15 rebounds. He had a huge and one midway through the second half, late in the second half, to kind of help Hofstra stem the tide a little bit, build a little bit of a lead. And he's a presence. Hofstra desperately needs him. And there's a reason, I think, why Joe Mihalik keeps 5 guys on the floor pretty much all 40 minutes if he can. If he can keep everybody out of foul trouble, it's because they have a lot of balance. They have 4 guards. They play around one big guy who's a load on the inside. And without them, without any one of those players, but especially him, they look like a very different team. Suddenly they're a small ball team, and they don't have an interior anchor. He gives them that, and he's a hugely important piece for a team that, when we talk about them, we usually talk about their guards.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to the Hofstra Pride once again. And even when we talk about this team, as they will find out on Selection Sunday who they will play, you were in the press conference. You heard a little bit of what Coach Mihalik had to say. When you look at this team, what type of team do you see here that could really, give, they're probably more likely going to play a Power 5 team in the first round of the NCAA. What type of problems can they present?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they're a tricky team, particularly if they're shooting the ball really well, because, again, you have 4 guys in Ray, Coburn, Bowie, and Pemberton who can all shoot it, and so they can spread the floor. But I think if you get a team that is around the same sort of height and plays a similar style, and then you just go up and down with them and play, also a team that's bigger, and that maybe doesn't have a 4 that can switch and play. A team like Virginia, for example, that wants to get all their big guys in, and they hurt you with their size. But if you can step away and make a guy like Jay Huff or Mamadi Diakite guard all the way up to the three-point line, then you've got a chance if you're making shots. So I think it can go one of 2 ways with Hofstra, but we've seen small ball teams, particularly from mid-major conferences, be able to get hot, get an upset, first round, second round, end up in the second week of the tournament. It's totally not impossible with this Hofstra team, depending on what kind of matchup they get and depending on how they play, because they're experienced, they're talented, and they can really shoot the ball.
All right, well, congratulations once again to the Hofstra Pride. They are the 2020 CAA champions. Eamon, thank you so much for all your presence here during this week and all your insight. And now we head off to the 2020 CAA Women's Basketball Championship presented by Sona Bank. And that's a wrap here from the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C.